Okay, we're off. Let's share the screen. It's testing me today, isn't it? All this technology. Okay, slideshow from the beginning. Boom! We're there. Lovely. Right. Okay. So, Neova, welcome to the amazing world of Neova. So, there are so many product lines out there, and it's such a minefield, isn't it, when you're trying to think about new product lines and also slotting things in. And honestly, I can say hand on heart, this product line does both. Okay, so there's products for absolutely everything if you want to bring it in as a whole new brand, but there's also products for different bits and bobs that you can bring in, slip into other brands, and also just as you were saying a moment ago, Miriam, is the fact that you can bring this in and you can slowly fade others out if you wanted to. So you can see the difference it will bring. So Neova is 40 years of research into photo damage, skin cancer, and wound healing. Okay, so not only are we looking at the damage that UV can cause, we are also helping and looking into skin cancer, and we are also helping wound healing, which will go into much more detail. So we're using award-winning DNA repair and copper peptide complexes. So um, it was originally founded by three scientists. Okay, so there are three scientists that were looking into DNA repair, and they basically worked out that if our DNA is not repairing correctly, then we are going to have inflammatory problems in our skin, whether they be lines and wrinkles, pigmentation, acneic skin, congested skin, and worse still, skin cancer. Okay. So just to sort of breeze through this bit a bit, because obviously your clients are not going to be hugely interested in this part of things because at the end of the day, they just see it as you. Well, this is how I see it. They see it as you trying to do this big sell on them the whole time. I want to give you visuals so that you can help them to understand how this all works. So, although I'm not just skipping over the fact that they have an amazing amount of patents, the thing with the patents as well is quite often you get patented ingredient or a patented recipe, patented all sorts of different, but usually they're engineering things that are patented. They have been given patents for the actual products, and that's actually quite an unusual thing for a product to get patented. So the actual DNA repair and the copper peptide complex, the two together, have been patented in many of the products. Trademarks obviously off the scale, and the three scientists did actually gain a Nobel Prize for their work with the DNA repair. So it's just pretty incredible what they've achieved over those 40 years. Investigative, scientific, interests that they've shown. So there's three technologies, okay, in the Neova. Three technologies. Oh, somebody has just arrived. Okay. If you have just arrived, we've literally just started. We were just talking about Neova being absolutely immense. And now we're just talking about the science behind it. So we have three technologies, and we're just about to start the first technology. So that's good
No,
timing.
no worries. It's just me.
Oh, it was just you coming back.
No, it's I've moved from phone to desktop. Sorry.
Ah, well done. Well done.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So, DNA repair enzymes. So, this is where I tend to go off the slideshow a bit, but DNA repair. So, within our cells, we have a mitochondria. That mitochondria in each skin cell is our powerhouse. Okay. That powerhouse is where all the DNA sits in our skin cells, okay, in the mitochondria. Now, when we're first born, our skins are soft and smooth. We have, if we're born a healthy baby, we sort of have this perfect, firstborn, beautiful, no scars, no nothing, just beautiful. Okay. So what happens is our bodies are built to mend DNA 10,000 times a day. 10,000 times a day. A lesion or something will go wrong in our DNA and our bodies will mend it without question. Okay, which is incredible. So when you're a baby and you're being cared for by your parent or carer, you are so cosseted, you are so wrapped in cotton wool that the 10,000 replications that can happen a day probably don't get used up. They probably don't. But when you get to my age and I go out into the sun, into the UVA and UVB, and I'm asking my body to replicate, to mend the DNA that is being broken and harmed by the sun, um, I need it to replicate more than 10,000 times a day. I'm asking it to do more than that. So when you're a baby or a toddler and you're being looked after, your skin stays so beautiful. And as you get older, you need to ask more than 10,000 because you're eating things that aren't particularly good for you occasionally. You might be smoking, you might be drinking, you're out in the sun, and your body cannot cope. It will still do the 10,000, but we probably need many more than 10,000 a day. Okay. Oh, there you go. So 10,000 errors a day. So what happens is each DNA is two strands wrapped around. Okay. They're a replica of each other. So one is exactly the same as the other and they just wrapped around. Okay. And what happens is we go out into the sun. The sun damages one of those chains one of those lines, and we get a problem with the DNA. The DNA gets broken and it just doesn't get mended properly. So what happens is once your body has done that 10,000 mends a day, it gets to the last one and it thinks, oh, I can't be bothered. And it has a that'll do type feeling about it. And what it will do, it'll basically mend it, but it won't do it properly. So it's just like a really rubbish builder, basically. So it's just a that'll do type feeling. So what we need, hold on one second. What will happen is basically our bodies will need help. So when the products are put onto the skin, they have three main enzymes in them. Okay, our bodies can actually used to be able to make, when we were cavemen, our bodies could make all three of these enzymes. But now we actually, because with the way we've evolved, the way we've developed, we can only actually make two. But we have three main enzymes. The first enzyme that is in the products is photolase. Photolase is basically our spotter. Photolase goes into the skin and it finds out where the problem is in the DNA. So it says, right, the problem's here. Let's find out where it is. Right, it's here, it's over here. So it calls endonuclease. Endonuclease basically comes in, takes out the bad lesion, takes out the broken part of the DNA, and replaces it with good. And what it does is it replicates it from the other line of the DNA. So it is the perfect match. Then that calls upon the OGG1, which is the third enzyme. And what that does, that absorbs all the oxidative stress. Going back to what Jessica was saying earlier about antioxidants, it absorbs all the oxidative stress around that area so that no more anger or problems can occur on that area. So it's almost like knocking down a house, demolition, putting a new one up that's absolutely perfect, exactly the same as it was, but taking all the old bricks away. Okay. So you're basically, if someone came along and was looking at all those DNA individually, they would walk straight past it because they wouldn't see that there had ever been a problem there. So that's what the DNA repair in Neova can do. Okay. So it's those three main enzymes that are in the products that basically go into the skin. Now, next question you're probably thinking is, okay, well, this is all very well, but how does this actually get into the skin? Oh, let me just show you this little video because it's quite cute. So photolaser's gone in, said the problem's here, endonuclease has come in, taken away the bad lesion and put the absolute perfected one in. Simple as that. And then the OGG1 comes in and absorbs all that oxidative stress. So how do those three enzymes actually go into the skin? So each one is wrapped in a nice lipid barrier. It has a nice gooey lipid barrier. Okay, so it's encased. So each one sits in the middle and it has a liposome delivery. So it has a lipid barrier around the outside. They are basically acidic. All three are very acidic. When you have a DNA problem in your mitochondria, it becomes alkaline, where all the oxidative damage is. So it naturally is pulled to the right area anyway. So each one will go through your stratum corneum without causing any problems. Nice gooey lipid barrier goes right the way through into the area that the problem is, bursts open, photolase says it's here, endonuclease follows and mends it, and OGG1 absorbs all the oxidative stress. Now, has anyone got any questions on DNA repair and how it delivers and how it all works? No. Perfect. Okay. Brilliant. So the second technology that Neova has is the copper
Sorry,
peptide.
one quick question. You said it's encased in a lipid barrier. Is that a peptide lipid barrier or
It's just a lipid barrier. It doesn't
okay,
have any jobs to do.
okay.
It's literally just to make it so the delivery is perfect through the stratum corneum. That's a really good question, Jessica. It doesn't have any other jobs because we don't want it stopping on the way. It's basically delivering straight to the area, the DNA repair, because there's not an awful lot that can actually penetrate the mitochondria, but these three enzymes can, because the body thinks they're friend, not foe. That's a really good question. So yes, so it's basically just delivering like that. So any other questions on DNA repair? Perfect. Okay. So they're going in and mending the DNA. Next, we have the copper peptide complex. Now, the copper peptide complex, this is all about the wound healing. And Karina, I don't know, obviously you've had your CO2 laser. I don't know what products you're using, but when I had my ultra clear fully ablative laser, um, I use the copper peptide complex, the C3 tissue, which we'll go over later, directly onto the skin immediately afterwards. And as you well know, there's not an awful lot you can put on your skin straight afterwards because it feels like burn, baby, burn.
It is.
But
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yes, so I had my fully ablative laser done with Dr. Asif in Harley Street in London. So he prescribed me, or he advised me to use the Neova Copper Peptide Tissue Repair Cream. So
Brilliant.
I'm using
How
that.
did you find it?
It's really good. I find it that it's a bit, there's like kind of a blue tint, or like
Yeah.
a faded blue, like you will see. It's white, but it's kind of a bit of bluish tint. But I think it's because of the copper peptide that's on it. And
It's really cool that you've said that because we'll come to that in a moment as well.
yeah,
So. But how did you find it? How did it feel when you put it onto your skin?
It's really good on the skin. It's like I think it's better than the classic Aquaphor or a Vaseline that is normally also advised to be used post fully ablative laser. And it sometimes, it's when you have it's not too, because I have oily skin, so it's not too greasy to if
Hmm.
you've had it in a few hours compared to having just Vaseline because it's pure petroleum. So yeah, that helps a lot.
Oh no, well I'm so pleased that you've used it for your recovery. I know the doctor that did my ultra clear, he actually did one side with the CU3 tissue and one side with just an occlusive, a plain occlusive.
Hmm.
And he couldn't believe the difference in the wound healing. I'm also using that CU3 tissue repair on my lips and eyebrows for my for my
Brilliant. Yeah.
tattooing. Yeah, it's just incredible stuff. Incredible. I'm so glad that someone else on here has had the joy of using it because obviously I can sit here and say, "Oh, it's amazing, it's great," but it's much nicer if somebody who's actually come on here for training has used it and seen the benefits. So that's just brilliant. So the copper peptide complex is really, really clever. It's interesting you're saying about the slightly blue color to it, Karina, because the blue is the copper. It is the copper. Now, you will quite often get you will quite often get clients coming in and they will say to you, copper's really bad for you. It causes free radicals. It's just really bad for you in general, for your skin. Absolutely. They might have seen that on TikTok or whatever it is they've seen it on, and they like to come in and blow your mind with all the information they know. They are correct. Copper on its own can cause free radicals. Copper in this formulation is an actual antioxidant. It's just incredible. So the copper sits in the middle and it's surrounded. So you'll sometimes see it as copper peptide complex. Sometimes you might see it as GHK-Cu.
I've
Okay.
and I've read it as copper as a neutralizer.
Well, copper is a as a antioxidant.
Yeah, so it neutralizes damage.
Absolutely, yeah. But in some guises in the past, copper has been known to cause free radicals. So, but I think that was when it was in its most sort of, in its form on its own. So, but I mean, that's really good that you've learned all this because, when clients come in, you know what they're like sometimes. They like to try and throw you off guard or or test you in some way. It's the most bizarre thing because they want to trust. I suppose it's their way of working out whether they can trust you or not, I guess. But also they tend to believe an awful lot of what they see on TikTok and internet and blogs and other such things. And sometimes, if you rabbit hole in the wrong place, you do come across things that are completely incorrect. Um, so the copper sits in three peptides. These three peptides, one beginning with G, one beginning with H, one beginning with K, glycine, histone, and casein. Now, these three peptides, when they're singular on their own, they're carrier peptides. Now, carrier peptides are the worker bees in a hive. Okay, so they're busy working, carrying things, hoddies on the building site. They're busy carrying. So they're carrying collagen and elastin to all the right places. When the three of them become together, they become a foreman and they become a signaler peptide. So then they're just telling the body what to do, which is so much more effective. And you've got the body working for you. So it's really, really clever. So the GHK basically make a nice liposomal barrier around the copper. They deliver into the body to the wound site. Now, when you're going backwards slightly, when you are riding your Boris bike to work and you fall off your Boris bike and you go into work and everyone says, "Good God, are you okay?" And you go, "Oh God, yeah, I've fallen off my bike. I've got all this grazing across my cheek. Look at me, I'm an absolute mess." Your body naturally, or you naturally want your body to clot to stop bleeding. And your body will naturally produce lots of collagen and elastin and clot clot the area to stop you bleeding out. Brilliant. I'm glad it does that. But what that does with scabbing and debris on your skin, as in human-made debris, it sits there and it slows the wound healing process down. So what the copper peptide does is it goes into the skin, it bursts open. The copper works like a dustpan and brush, and it sort of cleans up all the debris that's there. And the GHK instructs the skin, now you can make collagen and elastin, and we're now in charge. And the copper peptide complex in Neova has actually proven to halve clinical healing time. It's actually, there are clinical trials. It halves the healing time. It is incredible stuff. Really, really good stuff. So if you need any clinical studies, obviously get in touch with Lindsay or with Eden, and they'll be able to send you all of these. But copper peptide complex in the Neova is outstanding. And that's your CU3 range, which we'll go through. But having used it myself for so many, for laser, for lips and eyebrow tattooing, it's just incredible. But not only that, it's good for burns, it's good for falling off your bike if you still play on your bike. It's good for it's something that you should have in your medicine cabinet. So it's used as an occlusive quite often. This lady has used it for wound repair. I would actually say that my before and afters of my ultra clear are even more incredible than these pictures, but I don't really want to be on the presentation, funnily enough. But it is, take my word for it, it's the most phenomenal occlusive. So many of the doctors now are using this for their ablative lasers. And there you go. There's the little characteristic colour to it. It has got like a little blue tint to it. All the copper products in the CU3 range have got that slight blue tint to them, but it makes it even prettier, really, doesn't it? So any other questions on the copper peptide and how it delivers?
Yes, Anne. So what was the 3 peptides that the copper sits in?
So they're glycine, histol, and casein. 3 peptides.
Yeah.
Okay.
Glycine, histol.
And casein, Kystine, casein.
Thank you.
Pleasure. So the last scientific technology are the 2 together. So a lot of the products have the 2 in there, and they're called the DNA cofactor. So they've got the DNA repair and they've got the copper peptide complex. Okay. So, and what they tend to do is, so things like photolase is light activated. So you'll find photolase DNA repair in a lot of the daytime products. Okay. Photolase is light activated, and because it's in the daytime products as well, you'll quite often find the daytime products has sometimes got sometimes more pricey than the nighttime products. If you think about it, in the daytime, not only have they got to protect the skin, they've also got to start reversing the skin as well. Whereas the nighttime products can just concentrate on reversal and mending. And I always think it's a little bit like a mum with a toddler. So when a mum with a toddler during the day, she's got to get all of her things done, all of her work done, the washing, ironing, get all the dinner and the work and everything else all done with toddler. So she's protecting toddler and getting things done. But in the evening when toddler goes to bed, how much do we all get done? So that is when your nighttime product can really come into its own. But that's why quite often, so don't think the nighttime product's not doing as much. It's just it doesn't have to be alert and protecting as well as much as the daytime. I hope that makes sense. I always give silly visuals, but I think it's easier for your clients to understand. It's just preempting those questions, when they say to you, why is the copper, creme de la copper so expensive? Because it's protecting and reversing during the day. So why is that more expensive than the cellular, overnight repair? Because the overnight repair is just repairing. It hasn't got to protect as well. Okay, so these are just some before and afters. You can see the decrease in UV spots, wrinkle counts, in texture. This is just from, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 2 weeks. You will see the difference. Your clients will see the difference, feel the difference within days. Within days. UV spots, 12 weeks, brown spots, redness. But the thing that is so important and so incredible is the pre-cancer and cancer research that's involved with this DNA repair. Okay. So this gentleman, you can see when we're able now to do all these visias where we can see what's coming underlying the skin. So I will get a lot of clients that come into me and they will say, "Oh, I've got this mark on my face. What do you think it is?" This is when it's visual. This is when we can see it. But there's stuff going on underneath the skin that we can't even see it's coming. So Neova's actually working on this blind. It's actually going in and sorting this out before it even comes to the surface. Okay. So this gentleman, after 12 weeks of using a DNA repair, which has the DNA cofactor in it, you can see the difference in 12 weeks of the non-melanoma skin cancer in his skin. It's so incredibly important. And I think, luckily for us, it's clients are much more open to wanting to understand this side of things as well now. Whereas before they weren't. It was all about, how it looked on the surface, the tightness. It was just, yeah, don't worry about that. That's what happens to other people, not me. Whereas now people are very much into the wellness side and their health and the longevity. So it makes our life a little bit easier in that respect because they actually want to learn about this. They don't want to just jump over it. So any other questions on the two together?
Can we use this product on a patient who has cancer?
Yeah, the when you do a Visia, you use it, did you say? Sorry.
Yes, can we use it on patient who
Yeah,
has
no,
cancer?
absolutely. They can use the DNA repair. Of course they can. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, no problems at all. But when someone has actually been diagnosed with cancer, don't say to them that this is going to clear their cancer.
I'm not.
No, no, but it's
No,
really
it's just to.
important because, but they can still use it if they're on cancer medication and things. Yes.
Uh,
Does that
And
make
how,
sense?
and
yes,
how many days they can use it? How many times in a day they can use it? Just one time is enough or two times?
What we'll do is now I'm going to go
Mhm.
over each product, what they have in them,
Mm.
and then I'll tell you how often you would use it. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Because
Okay.
some products have one technology and some have
Mhm.
both in.
Sure.
So we'll go
Okay.
through. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to sort of try and go through the products that I think would be of most benefit
Mhm.
to all the clinics that are in. Um, Now, Riverbank Wellness, I didn't check this with you. What do you use Neova already?
Yes, I think they're using Neova.
So are you a new recruit?
Yes, I'm new recruit. Yes.
Ah, right, okay. So you're just learning basically. So I know what
Yes.
products they'll have then in, as
Yes.
in I'll know what they haven't got, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So just to show you, sorry, I've whizzed past this wheel. This is the whole wheel of Neova skincare. Okay. So there is so much skincare on offer with Neova, but that's why I'm saying to you, we're going to pinpoint the ones that you would slot into with other products. And then if there is a stage where you wanted a full range, then obviously we'd go into more depth of actually the products, but the science obviously is the same. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about, so I'm just going to talk about the Radiant Wash. Now, the Radiant Wash is a sort of a clarifying gel, okay? It has buffered fruit acids, so it's buffered so it doesn't need neutralizing, okay? This is for clients with congested skin. They would obviously need to buy a milder face wash to take their makeup off first because you wouldn't want to get this in your eyes, okay? It's pH balanced, so you don't need a toner, but then all these products are pH balanced, so we've gone to the days where we need a toner as well now. But it's going to remove, surface debris, makeup, oils. It doesn't cause any dryness and it doesn't cause any irritation. So it's quite a nice, because of the buffered fruit acids in it, it's quite a nice exfoliant as well. For someone like me who has sort of dry, dehydrated skin, it would be quite nice to use it a couple of times a week, which I do, but with another Neova one, which I'll explain to you why when we get there. But a client can use this every day if they've got that slight congested skin, slightly oily congestion, not acneic, because there's one that's more powerful. But this one just for slightly congested, because I find a lot of women now when they're going through the menopause, they're starting to get congested in this area and they weren't before. And you start to get that lovely strawberry chin around here. And so this is a really nice feel clean for me. It's a real clean my skin up properly for a couple of days a week. But for someone that's oily, they would love it every day. Okay, so that's our Radiant Wash. So the next one we're going to talk about is, sorry, I'm waiting for my computer to catch up. Whether it's going to or not, I don't know. There we go. Is the CU3 Gentle Cleanser. Okay, so this is part of the CU3 range. We're going to go through the range now. This cleanser is for everybody. The reason I say it's for everybody, it's for anyone who's just had a treatment. So, Karina, when you were first allowed to cleanse your skin for the first time, oh my God, that's just the best feeling, isn't it? This would have been something that you would use. Absolutely beautiful. Makes your skin feel nice and clean, but does it in a very gentle way. No dryness, no irritation. Has the copper peptide complex in it. It's non-ionic, so it's not going to foam up a huge amount, but enough to make you feel like it's getting nice and clean. It's good for sensitized skin. And the reason I say it's for everybody is because if anyone is on a stronger cleanser, they would use this to remove all their eye makeup, everything before they then use their treatment cleanser. Okay, so it's a really good one to have for sale in stock, this one, because it's just for everybody. Then you have the recovery spray. Now, I would have the recovery, well, I do have the recovery CU3 cleanser on my trolley. Okay, because then I know I can cleanse everyone's skin. We would have used this one, Chantel, when we were doing our dermafrac training. I think we would have used the cleanser for that. And then you'd have the recovery spray on your trolley as well. It's not a huge retail, this one. The reason I say that is because there's other things that I would rather my clients were using. Unless they've got a bottomless pit of money, then obviously they could buy this and they will get a beautiful result from it. But there's other products that I would push in front of it first. That's why I say that. But on your trolley, it's beautiful because after a treatment, microneedling, peels, laser, anything, ablative, non-ablative, you can, this will just fall onto the skin. It has the copper peptide in it. And because it's got the micro droplets, it's immediate soaking, immediately absorption into the skin. Immediate absorption. Okay, so it's very cooling, very calming. The other thing is because you've got those 3 signaler peptides, they're not only signaling to the body to make collagen and elastin, but they're also telling the body to stop stinging. They're saying basically you can calm down now. There's nothing to get uptight about. Calm the nerves down, and it will tell your skin to stop stinging. So it just takes that sting away as well. Absolutely beautiful, the spray. So
Can
to have that,
we,
go on, go for it.
so sorry, can we use this product like, for example, when we use radio frequency with microneedling?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
mhm,
100%.
yeah,
100%. That's a really good question. So when
mhm,
you've done microneedling, you know how red and sore people's skin can be afterwards.
yeah.
You can spray this straight. So I literally spray it into the air above their face and it just falls.
Mm,
And it's so refreshing and calming. And as I say, it's basically telling the body, stop stinging.
okay, and it's immediately
Yes.
effect.
So
Okay.
that's why I say this is one of those products that I always would say to people, have on your trolley.
Hmm.
It's
And
not
when we use a radio frequency in microneedling or any other treatments, they are we use amla before the treatment, like stay for 30 minutes. It stays on the skin for 30 minutes, then do the product. So can we use this product before the treatment or just after the treatment?
both
Both.
or
Okay,
either.
perfect. Okay.
Absolutely, both or either. It's entirely up to you because what's going to happen is this is micro droplets. It's direct absorption. It's going straight in. And because
Mm,
it's got that copper peptide complex, it's just going to go straight in and start calming the skin down.
oh,
So you can use it, as I say, work the pricing into your treatment, but you can use it either before or after or both.
yeah, perfect. Thank you. Mhm.
Wonderful. I love that spray. Absolutely beautiful. But as I say, it's not the biggest retailer. But as I say, that is because I don't push that. I've many other products I want to push quicker than that one. The CU3 tissue repair. I absolutely love this product, and this is the one that Karina and I were talking about after our laser. It's used as an occlusive. It's amazing for resurfacing. It has the copper peptide complex in it. It has petrolatum in it, so that's why it's a good occlusive. And the glycerine attracts water to itself, so it makes it a really powerful hydration. Okay. So as I say, I'm using it on my tattoos at the moment. It's amazing on your lips, whether you've had them tattooed or not. If you've got really dry lips for whatever reason, just incredible on the lips. Um, I quite often use this when I have had tattoos done on when I have had my lips topped up. I'll use this as my moisturizer slash lipstick because it just brings the color back. It pops the color back because you're rehydrating. It's just incredible. So having this on your trolley is really real must if you're using it for post laser. It's good for cuts. It's good for burns. It's good for anything like that. So it's a good thing to have on the trolley. Do not use this though after microneedling or peels because it's too occlusive. Okay, because the heavy petrolatum base is too occlusive. So it's very good for ablative. It's very good when your skin's screaming. Okay. Um, and it's good to have on your trolley. It's amazing to have in your stock cupboard because every time someone comes in for a laser or something, quite substantial, then you would just send them home with this. So either include it in the price of your treatment or make sure you sell this to your clients to use. So that's tissue repair. The recovery lotion you should also have on your trolley. And this one is a softer version of the tissue repair. So this is what I would use. I would use the spray and then the lotion when I've done microneedling, peel, anything, microdermabrasion, anything like that on the skin. It's got that copper peptide complex in it and it's very calming. So it's very, very good for treatments that you don't want, you don't want to be giving those blockages on the skin. Okay. So the tissue repair is very much for the laser treatments, um, real much deeper treatments. The recovery lotion, if you've made trauma into the skin with channels from the needles, use the lotion. Okay, it won't cause any blockages. It will just calm the skin down. So this is something that they can use on their skin as many times as they like after treatment. It's also a really good product for clients when they start using Neova if they have acneic skin. Because a lot of people, when they come in with acneic skin, they'll have rosacea. And as we know, we need to treat that rosacea first. We've got to calm the skin down before we can start throwing actives on it to help the acneic side of it. So the recovery lotion is a good lotion because it's light, so they don't panic, because it's very difficult, isn't it, when you have an acneic client, because they'll tell you their skin's oily, but actually if they've got rosacea going on, it can be very dry as well. So it's a real argument on their skin. So the recovery lotion is light, but it's going to get the skin to start working in a more strengthened way, and then you can start adding the actives to help the acne. The CU3 lip repair is just, honestly, is like a smaller version of the CU3 tissue repair. It's a very similar ingredient basis. It's got the copper peptide complex in it. It's got the petrolatum base and the glycerin as well. So, but it's just a smaller version. So it's very, very good for keeping in your handbag just over the winter and through the summer as well. Why not? Let's keep them really well moisturized. Okay, so again, it's not one of the biggest sellers, the lip repair, but I think again that's because people are more likely to buy the tissue repair and use it on their lips as well. Any other questions on the CU3, especially Karina, just checking that there's nothing else that you want to go over with the CU3, because I know you specifically came on for that range.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with the CU3 repair cream, and that's exactly why I also want to add it on my range of skincare in my clinic.
Okay, brilliant. Well, that's great news. But as I say, Karina, if you want any other information on that, just shout. If you need any clinical studies, things like that can really, really, really help. But the fact that you've used it yourself and your clients obviously, trust you and you've got a relationship with them, the fact that you're using it is the biggest sell there is. Fantastic. Anyone else? Any other questions on the CU3?
Yeah, I have a question. Like there's a many times after, especially after the laser treatments, most of the clinics are selling aloe vera gel.
Right.
Yeah, so it's for calming, especially, and to
Mhm.
give hydration. So, like you said, there is a CO3 restore lotion. Instead of aloe vera, can we sell that? Is it going?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we can replace aloe vera from this with more professional, maybe.
It's a very much more aesthetic way of looking at things. I
Mm-hmm.
don't forgive me, I don't know your clinic,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're looking at more if you're looking at your clinic being more clinic than salon,
Mm-hmm.
then I would go nearer to the Neova line
Mm-hmm.
than I would aloe vera. Aloe
Yeah.
vera is proven to be very, very good indeed. Very, very
Yeah.
good. But it
Mm.
definitely has more of a connection with salon than clinic. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's why I just wanted to double check. Thank you. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
No, that's great. Fabulous. Anyone else? Any other questions so far with the C3? Boom. Right. Okay. Perfect. DNA total repair. DNA total repair. I love DNA total repair. DNA total repair. Everyone in your clinic should be on this. Everyone. Right. Okay. So DNA repair is the three enzymes. So you've got the photolysomes, you've got the mitosomes and the endosomes. So you've got the photolase, the endonuclease in there, and you've also got the EGT. Now, EGT is a super antioxidant. Okay, so what happens is it's got the photolase, the light activated photolase goes in and finds where the problem is, calls on the endonuclease. The endonuclease goes in and he basically replaces the bad DNA with the good replica. So we're dealing with the cause, not the symptom. So everyone that comes into you with the symptoms of, I've got lines and wrinkles, I've got acneic skin, I've got the need of tightening and lifting, I've got rosacea, I've got anything that has been caused by an anti-inflammatory, you know, problem of the skin. DNA repair is going to go in and mend the cause. So what I always say to clients, it's not like filling in a crack in the wall with some plaster. We're underpinning the house. And by underpinning the house, all of the plaster lines in the house will rectify themselves. So by dealing with the cause, the symptoms will rectify. So the DNA repair is used if you're cleansing your skin, you'll cleanse your skin, you'll use the DNA total repair and then your moisturizer twice a day. So as a serum, it's more of a lotion feel. It does feel more of a lotion than a serum, but you use it as a serum. So the photolase goes in and finds the problem. The endonuclease will change, the bad for good. And then the EGT is one of the few enzymes that can actually go in through the skin cell into the mitochondria. It can actually penetrate the mitochondria. So it's going to go in, it's going to absorb all that antioxidant stress that's around the problem, and then there's going to be nothing to see. It's going to be mended. So that is what your DNA total repair is. So it's helping lines and wrinkles, it's helping pigmentation, it's helping acneic skin, it's helping rosacea, it's helping all anti-inflammatory problems. Okay. Just as a little side quest, and I trialed this on my daughter because she really struggles with acneic skin. When we first got Neova, I put her onto the DNA Total Repair. I also put her on other products, and she said, "I'm not touching it. DNA Total Repair. I love DNA Total Repair because it didn't feel like it was suffocating her skin, but it felt like it was enough moisturizer." Now she's on, I'll tell you what she's using, and it's absolutely amazing. But she started off on the DNA Total Repair, and what I noticed about that was it looked less angry and that the scarring was starting to lift just by using that twice a day. Now, obviously, she's 22, so she's a younger skin, and younger skins are more receptive to things quicker, obviously, than someone of my age that's going to take longer to see a difference. But a difference is what they'll see. It's incredible. The clinical studies for the DNA total repair is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So yeah, everyone can be using this. Everyone using the DNA repair. Okay. It's targeting the non-melanoma skin cancer as well, blind. So it's working on that blind.
Can I
Okay.
just ask a quick
Please do.
question? So the DNA total repair, you would cleanse your skin, put that on first, and then an SPF over. But let's say
No,
it's
then a
not.
moisturizer, then an SPF.
Oh, so I was just
It's
about
no,
to say.
sorry, I confused matters by telling you my daughter was using it as a moisturizer, but she's naughty.
So you would use a moisturizer over the top of this, right?
Yes, she would.
Perfect. Okay, because I did
I'm
think
so
that, but I
sorry.
thought,
I confused it by that. The reason I was telling you side quests is because when you get a youngster in, because I'm sure, Dr. Primas, you must get the next generation coming in as well. And most of them tend to have bad skin because they don't go out and play in the mud like we used to, like I used to at their age. They're just stuck to their phones and, eating convenience foods and just, that's their lifestyle, isn't it? So they tend to have more problematic skin. So when they don't want to use a thick, heavy cream, the DNA repair is a good introduction for them to start using as a moisturizer. But no, you're right, Jessica. It's not a serum, it's a lotion, but use it as a serum. So you're using it as a serum. So you cleanse, you use the DNA repair, then you moisturize, then you SPF.
Are the products pre-pumped? So do you just use one pump full face and then,
Yes,
yes.
absolutely. They're in a pump. So yes. So literally dotted around the skin and wiped in.
Okay, perfect.
Great question. Thank you, because sometimes I don't cover everything and I want to cover everything. So thank you. Okay, so we're happy with the DNA repair. Such an important product. Such an important product. Okay. The dual matrix is really effective. Going back to what you were asking earlier, Jessica, about pigmentation, it's very effective on pigmentation. The dual matrix has retinol in it. It has the DNA repair serum in it as well. Very good on breakouts. Has no irritation in it at all. It is used. You would use this. You can use this alongside DNA repair if you like, but you would use it at night. So when I've got a client that's on DNA repair, I would have them use the DNA repair serum and then their moisturizer, and then they'd use the dual matrix at night. If they are addicted to using absolutely everything, then use the DNA repair first and then the dual matrix. So if they're one of these people that are quite happy to spend half hour on their skin routine before they go to bed, DNA repair, then dual matrix, then the moisturizer. Okay. This is phenomenal. DNA repair, we know, delivers within 20 minutes to the place it needs to get to. It gets to where it needs to get to within 20 minutes. Okay. Dual matrix, because it's got other things that it needs to be working on, it's got the retinol in it as well, it has other jobs to do, it might take that a little bit longer. So I like the DNA repair in, let it get on its travels, let it get on its way, and then get that dual matrix on top. Okay. But you get some really good results for pigmentation with the dual matrix. Really good.
Is this something you would introduce into the skin a couple of times a week and then build?
The DNA repair straight off.
Yeah.
During DNA repair, you can go twice a day, every day, straight away. The dual matrix, you'd probably introduce it every other night for about a week, but it's because it's retinol. But it's not as strong as some of the other products, which I'll go through in a moment. But yeah, the dual matrix maybe every other night for about a week, and then you can go for it. The dual matrix is something that you're going to introduce to a client that has been with you a while and has been using product on their skin. If they are someone, so therefore their skin will be more resilient to having using it. If you introduced it to somebody who said, "Oh, I want to look 10 years old again," or 20 years old again, 10 years younger, and I've been using Simple on my skin and I've just been ignoring my skin for so long, then obviously you're not going to introduce the dual matrix first anyway. So they're going to have something like DNA repair to try and mend their skin, get their skin resilient and ready for more active products. Hope that makes sense. Okay, creme de la copper. This is a beautiful moisturizer, really beautiful. So this has the DNA cofactor in it. So it has the copper peptide complex in it, wound healing, but at the same time, it has DNA repair in it. Now, I was saying to you earlier about this one. This one is slightly more expensive. This one's £148. You can use it day and night. But it is protecting the skin at the same time as reversing the skin. I was saying that silly analogy about mum with toddler. Okay. So it's very much protecting the skin barrier. Okay. The ceramides in it are going to do that for you. But at the same time, it's reversing the DNA damage. Okay. It's wound healing as well. This is phenomenal, this product. This is for anyone, anti-aging, pigmentation, and I would say it's for anyone that hasn't got rosacea. And there's a reason for that, because we've got a specific product that's good for rosacea. So anyone that hasn't got rosacea and anyone that hasn't got acne, apart from that, everyone go on this product. It's beautiful. Absolutely stunning. And if your client says, oh, it's quite expensive, they can be using something else in the evening. But to be honest, if they're on this during the day for anti-aging, and then they use something like the overnight repair, which I'll talk about in a moment, then they're going to see such a difference. And within 3 days, their skin will just be like velvet. It's stunning. So the creme de la copper, I think most of you will have that in stock because it's one of their hero products. And it's one of those products that you need to have on your stock, in your stock cupboard, big time. It just flies off the shelf. Okay, body repair. So body repair is the body version of the DNA repair. Okay. So if your clients are going on holiday, when you go on holiday and you've been laying in the sun or you've been out for a walk in the sun or whatever happens, and you come in the evening and you're getting ready for dinner and you're in the shower and your body's tingling and you think, God, it's so lovely. I've just having such a nice relaxing holiday. That tingling that's going on in your body is actually really bad for your skin. Okay. Now, when you go out in the sun, your body will absorb so much UVA, UVB, and then you have a 6 hours danger in the dark afterwards. Okay. Now, the 6 hours danger in the dark is what's happening is basically your DNA is not repaired properly. Your body's doing that, that'll do. And what happens is every time your DNA repairs itself, it repairs itself incorrectly. So it becomes worse and worse and worse and worse. So for 6 hours, danger in the dark, because your body has been absorbing all that sunlight, all that UVA and UVB, it carries on being detrimental to your skin for another 6 hours. Okay. So this body repair you would use as your after sun. Okay. And it's going to work like the DNA repair. It's going to repair your body's skin. Okay. So body repair is absolutely beautiful. It can be used all year round, obviously, but if you have clients that are going on holiday, they've got somewhere hot, it's an absolute must because you're helping those mutations from basically being stopped in the moment. So the body repair is beautiful. And if you're not usually stocking a body product, this is the one for you to start stocking for your customers. Okay.
Like we usually use SPF 50.
Oh yeah, no, you would definitely use SPF 50 as well, but this is like as I say, like after, like an after,
After.
you would have an after sun product that you would
Oh,
use. So
no.
when you've you're so young. You'll regret it. You'll regret it. No, so basically when you're on holiday or when you've had a shower, do you put moisturizer on your body when you've had a shower?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so body repair.
Oh, perfect.
Body repair. So you're going to use your SPF. Of course, you're going to use your SPF.
Mm-hmm.
But when you come in and you've had your shower, you're going to put the body repair straight on.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Okay, I'm going to sort of try and introduce the two eye serums together because they're different, but it just helps to understand them. The Superlift eye serum. So we had two eye serums sent to us in the office, the Superlift eye serum and the illuminating eye serum. Everyone in the office wanted to try the Superlift eye serum. Okay, and I'm telling you all of this just because it'll help you get an idea of what product your clients are going to want. Everyone in the office said, oh, I'm trying the Superlift eye serum because it has the arginine in it. So it has the non-toxic Botox derivative in there. So you put it on and it has a lifting effect around your eyes. It's so clever. It's beautiful. Okay. Your clients will love it. It has the DNA cofactor in it. So it has the copper peptide complex in it. And it has the arginine. It has hyaluronic acid in it. And it has the endonuclease in it. Okay. So it's basically DNA repairing. It's got the arginine in it for the lifting. It's repairing and it's wound healing. Okay. So the Superlift Eye Serum, it can be used morning and night. And it is incredible. Now, the illuminating eye serum, I said I will try that because no one else in the office wanted to, because they all wanted to play with the arginine. So basically, it's bright eyes. So it helps with puffiness and it helps with darkness under the eyes. So they're the two main worker bees in the illuminating eye serum. So it's got the copper peptide complex in it. It's got DNA repair. It's got hyaluronic acid, so it's basically straight away it's rehydrating the area. It's got Gallic Blend in it. Now, Gallic Blend and green tea help the blood flow and the circulation to help vasoconstrict underneath the eyes. So that helps the dark circles, but it also helps that puffiness under the eyes. Okay, instantly brightens the eyes. But the reason I get so excited as well about illuminating eye serum is I became allergic to mascaras. So I used to have to keep changing my mascara and then I would become allergic to it and then I would use another one and then it would get just a normal cycle. And I had a rash that appeared on my eyelid. It just constantly appeared as soon as I became allergic to that one mascara. And it was quite crusty, a little bit like my lips are today. It was quite crusty. The illuminating eye serum has kept that away. Now, I don't know why or how this has worked, but it has. It's probably the fact that it's mended all the DNA around that area, the wound healing. I don't know what it is, but now I just stick to my L'Oreal Architect every single day. And as long as I put my illuminating eye serum on morning and night, I don't have any problems. So that's a little side quest from the illuminating eye serum. And I would never, ever, ever be without using it. So it's just an additional amazing thing that it does. So I
So
don't any longer have to walk around scaring small children without my mascara on.
if we have a patient that has rosacea around the eyes, which you can get, would this one be the better one?
This would be the better one, but if they have rosacea, I would actually use the tissue repair to start with, the occlusive tissue repair to help repair that area, and then start with the actives with the illuminating eye serum.
Okay, fine.
I've got a really sexy before and after. Let me see if I can find it for you.
So, after how many weeks we can see the difference? Like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, after a month?
From the eye serum,
Mm-hmm.
I think, let me think. From the eye serum, well, the crusting for me was within 2 weeks, gone completely, and that had been there a long time. But yeah, the puffiness and the dark. I mean, I haven't got any darkness under my eyes, and this, of course, my mascara's decided to run. And the puffiness improved as well within a couple of weeks. It is
Wow.
incredible. It's a really good product. I'm just desperately trying to find this before and after. Ah, there it is.
If you use the illuminating eye serum because of the reasons of the dark circles and puffiness and obviously
Hmm.
irritation, would you still get the same benefits as the super lift serum? Because it might be a combo where they've got
Yeah,
the
that's
aging
got
around the
such a
eyes.
good question, Jessica, because that's such a good question. And you could use the two together. If you were going to use the two together, you'd use the super eye lift in the morning and the illuminating at night. But if your client is more worried about darkness and puffiness of the eyes, then illuminating eye serum all the way. If they're more worried about the lines and wrinkles around their eyes and it's more of an elasticity and collagen type injection that they need, then I'd go super eye lift. But they can use the two together. I just want to show you. I don't know whether you can see that. Can you all see that? Okay. So this lady, I went to see her. She'd got put something with retinol around her eyes. So I gave her the tissue repair to put on her tissue. I gave her the tissue repair to put around her eye, and that was the following day. So it's just, and she sent me that before and after because she was absolutely blown away. She couldn't believe it, could not believe it. So, it's a little bit, I feel like a bit of a witch with Neova because it's a little bit when people come in, you think, actually, do you know what? I think you should use that first. Then that. I have a lady, bit of a side quest. I have a lady that has really bad eczema. So her skin is so angry. It's like an angry squirrel. It's so angry. She came into me and she said, I just don't know where to start with it. And the first thing I did was I gave her CU3 tissue repair. I said, just put that on. And she goes, no, it's going to sting. It's going to hate it. And I said, I'm serious. Put that on. So she's put that on. She uses it now every morning. And I think she's about 3 weeks in. And her skin she can move it. She can move it without it cracking. Once we've repaired that skin, I'll move on to recovery lotion. And then once we've done that and we've got the lotion and everything working really well with SPF, then I'll start feeding it. Then I'll start feeding it with something in the evening to try and rectify it and get it working as a youngster's skin. But she said it's been like it forever and ever. She can't remember it not being like that. So it's quite, it's quite exciting product range because you don't have to stick to what it's for. As I say, the illuminating eye serum, I use it for completely different reasons for what it's actually meant for, but it really works. So start playing with it and you'll absolutely love it. Any other questions on that? Jessica, did I answer that correctly? I'm sorry, I go off on side quests all the time.
No, you did. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Right, the ultimate redness relief. Okay, so this is the product for your client if they struggle with rosacea. Okay. This is going to protect the skin. It's going to feed the skin. It has the green tea in it. So that's going to help to calm the skin. Okay. It's got super humectant in it. And what that is basically going to do, a humectant basically draws moisture to the area. Okay. Not most people. Some people that have rosacea are quite often high color. So it will be possibly because they blush easily or they get hot easily. I get a lot of clients who are going through menopause who have developed rosacea because they get very hot. They have a hot flush. Their blood comes to the surface to try and cool down, and their skin just dries out, absolutely dries out. And as we know, the surface of our skin needs to work like the roof of a house. So we need tile over tile over tile over tile to basically protect the house. Okay. What happens is when you get a heating across the skin, those tiles on the surface basically shrink like sultanas, and a parched skin cannot work. It cannot be useful because it's just going to let rain in through the roof to the house, and it's going to let every single anti-inflammatory through your skin and irritate your skin beyond belief. So a lot of products you'll put on when you've got rosacea, it might not be because of the heat. It might just be that your keratin is too low, or and the ceramides are not on the surface of the skin protecting it anymore. There's nothing there, and your skin is just evaporating. So everything that you feed onto your skin basically goes in, irritates your skin because it goes in too deeply, and there's nothing on the surface that's doing its job. So what this is doing with its super humectant is basically is sitting on the skin and it's rehydrating the roof to work as a proper roof. So then when we put other products on as well, eventually they won't seep in through the skin, irritate it, and make it even more sensitive and hot. Okay, so in helping to mend the surface of the skin, we've got that copper peptide complex, so it's wound healing as well. And we've got the DNA cofactor, so we're mending all those DNA. We've got all that DNA repair happening as well. This has won so many awards, the Ultimate Redness Relief. It's really phenomenal. So your clients can use this day and night as their moisturizer. And that's what I was saying to you about clients that come in with acneic skin and rosacea. You can have them on that ultimate redness relief first to help calm the rosacea, get the surface of the skin working properly, and then we can start attacking that acneic skin. Okay, any other questions on that? The serious glide peel. A serious glide peel is basically a glycolic based peel that you put on your skin. It dries into a mask and you peel it off. It's absolutely beautiful as long as you don't get it in your hair. Do not get it in your hair. You will be picking it out forever. So do say to their clients, make sure they literally just go to the edge of their skin, okay, when they put this on. Clients love this. They love something that they can peel off, and the glycolic in it gives your skin a real burst of energy. That's the only way I can describe it. It feels clean, it feels fresh. You wouldn't use it more than probably once, maybe twice a week at most. But yeah, I think it's nice once a week, this mask, and it's you don't want them using these things too often, otherwise they won't be coming into you for peels. Okay, so it's a nice way of peeling your skin without doing too much physical exfoliation. But as I say, clients love something they can peel off in one. Okay, so right. Okay, so last but not least, in this range, I don't know where to start with the SPF. I've got it on now. I absolutely love Neova SPF. Neova SPF, so just side quest, it's called Silk Sheer 2.1. The reason it's called 2.1 is it's the second version that they've made. Okay, so they've just updated the ingredients since they made it the first time. So that just in case a client asks you, that's all. The Neova, in answer to Jessica's question at the very beginning about how clients like treatment as well as, you know, having treatment at home, carry on treatments. This is treatment and protection all in one. So the first thing it's doing as a protection, it's got its physical protector. So you've got things like zinc oxide in there, titanium dioxide, and they've been micronized. So when you put that on your skin, what that does is it works as a physical blocker. So it works as basically almost like a mirror. So as the sun reflects onto your skin, it reflects it back off again. It just retracts it off your skin. Okay, so that's how the physical blocker works. The chemical blocker, it has octinoate in it. It's basically chemical blocker, and what that does is it basically draws the heat from the sun into the skin, turns it around, and gets rid of it again. Okay, so that's what your chemical blocker is doing. Now, some clients will say to you, I only like to use a mineral SPF. They don't like the chemical side of it in there. But to get a full UV spectrum blockage, you need a physical and chemical blocker. Okay. And I tell you what I got asked the other day, which I'd never heard of before. Is it reef safe? And what that means is basically if you're going scuba diving, can the octinoate in it affect the reef? Well, if I'm completely honest with you, the octinoate in it, if you were to put pure octinoate onto a reef, it probably would harm it, but you're not. But yeah, octinoate does not get on well with reefs. So just a little side quest, if you ever get asked that, it's not reef friendly because of the octinoate in it. So that's the protection. It's protecting you. At the same time, it's doing its treatment. Okay. The treatment in it are the two DNA repair enzymes. So you've got photolase in there, light activated, and you've got the endonuclease in there. So they're basically going in, finding where the problem is, and mending it. But it's also got the EGT in it. Okay. The super antioxidant in it. So the super antioxidant is basically going in, absorbing all the oxidative damage and taking that away. It's got a slight tint to it. What I do is I pump 1.5 pumps into my hand, rub my hands together, and I push it into the skin all over. And I have not yet, touch wood, I have not yet come across anyone that it doesn't suit. I use it on men, women, Fitzpatrick 1 to 6. I've not come across anyone it doesn't look nice on. Honestly, this product is absolutely beautiful. I use this as my base makeup. I don't put any makeup over the top, a bit of highlighter, but I don't put any makeup over the top. I just use this. My clients absolutely love this stuff. So I'm not usually a tint SPF purchaser, but I love this one. So this is one of their absolute champion upon champion, and every single one of your clients is going to love this. So have this on your trolley and have this in your stock cupboard, because as soon as you've put this on after a treatment, and just so you know, you can put this directly over ablative laser. So once you put your CU3 tissue repair, you can put this directly over the top. Okay. So you can use it after every treatment, microneedling, peels, normal facials, ablative, non-ablative, everything. Absolutely stunning product. I love this product. And it's an SPF 50. The other thing, just to point out to your clients, is a lot of SPFs come in 40, 30 or 50 mil. This is 74. Why it's 74 and not 75, I've no idea. That's most bizarre. But it's 74 mils and it's 79.50. So when your client says 79.50, that's expensive for an SPF. It is, but you get 74 mil. So just do point that out to your customers, because obviously it's going to last them an awful lot longer than a 50 mil. Right. So any other questions on the SPF? Okay. Honestly, the SPF is phenomenal. Okay, I'm going to go over last but not least. Is everyone okay? No one needs to pop out for anything or anything. Everyone's okay for time. Beautiful. Okay. The
Sorry,
prejuvenation.
I did have one question. I just had food in my mouth at the same time.
Oh no, bless you. No, that's fine.
The SPF, I found it, I have used it, and I found it was a bit sticky over my products. Now, I use quite a few products before I even get to the SPF. Is this something that would be an issue if someone was using multiple products, or is it a case of just eliminating some products just so the SPF can go on properly?
Right, that's a really good question. And that is exactly so when I put, as an example, when I put my moisturizer on, I put my creme de la copper on, and then straight away I put my SPF on, and then I put it on, you know, how you do as if you were running to the car. Okay. When I use it for treatments, one, because I don't want to pull people's skin around too much, and two, because normally I have layered things onto their skin, I'll put 1.5 pump in my hand. I rub my hands together and I push it in. And you just keep pushing it until you see that there's no gaps. And that way you don't get any lines, any marks, and no dragging. So Jessica, try that. And once you've perfected it, you'll know exactly what I mean. And then you can pass that on to your customers. Literally just 1.5 pumps. Because that's the other thing as well. I think, people go pump, pump, pump. For some reason we do it in threes, don't we? Why do we do that? Everything's in threes, but go pump, pump, pump. And we rub all this stuff up, and then it squodges there and squodges there and squodges there, and it just does not go in. 1.5 is plenty. As we know, when you put an SPF 50 on, you're not actually getting 50. You're probably getting about a quarter. Because whatever SPF you're using, you're probably only getting about a quarter, because you're probably to get the full SPF of what you're putting on, you need to put about 2 millimeters thick on, which no one is ever going to do. So that's why it's mighty important that we use a 50 as well, because probably only getting a quarter to half of that actually going on, not going on our skin, but thickness on our skin. But yeah, so just try that 1.5 pumps, rub your hands together and push. Just keep doing it until you get a really nice coverage, and then that should rectify that, because I had exactly the same when I'd layered clients with after lasers and things.
Okay, I'll give that a go.
Perfect. Try it on yourself first, and then you'll know what I mean.
Yeah, I'd like to try it myself first again, because I'm the one who
Exactly.
uses that multiple products prior to even getting to the SPF.
Yeah, no, perfect. Perfect. Well, you're the perfect example. So happy playing. No, you'll love it. Okay, so the prejuvenation range is actually really exciting. Really exciting, especially actually having just talked about layering. Okay, so the prejuvenation range, it's for anti-aging, but it's phenomenal on acneic skin. Okay, so tried and tested on all of my clients, including my daughter. Okay, so we know in these products we have BHAs. Okay, so the skin's like this. Okay, so we're layering. So we have BHAs that go this far, they go nearer the surface of the skin. Then we have AHAs that go that little bit deeper. Then we have retinol. And then we have in the prejuvenation range is we have a tretinoin derivative that goes slightly deeper. Sorry, I've gotten one too many. That goes slightly deeper. So we have BHAs, AHAs, retinol, and our tretinoin derivative, HPR. Okay. Now, they use different amounts of different things in different products. Okay. It's so effective. I cannot tell you how effective it is. It's so good. So your BHAs, what are they doing? Your BHAs are things like your salicylic acid. So they're going in and they basically clean around the surface of the skin, make it all nice and clean, get rid of your bacteria. Your AHAs are your products, things like citric, glycolic, malic, all these acids that basically work slightly lower than the BHAs. And what they're doing is they're working on cellular turnover. So they basically go in, it's like us going to the gym and working on our muscles. Okay. Then we have retinol, which works slightly deeper, slightly more effective. And that's like having a personal trainer at the gym. And it's making your skin cells work even harder. Okay. Then you have your HPR, which is like your tretinoin, and that's like your SAS trainer working you every week at the gym without fail. Okay. So your BHAs are doing a lot of cleaning. Your AHAs are doing a little bit of skin rejuvenation and getting you to the gym. The retinol is basically working as a personal trainer to your skin cells, and the tretinoin derivative HPR is working like an SAS trainer. That's the easiest way I explain it to my customers. You can use all your own visuals. It's all very exciting, isn't it? So, first product, microfoliant cleanser. And that's why earlier I said to you about the Radiant Wash being really good as an exfoliant. I like to use the microfoliant cleanser once a week. Okay. It's pH balanced. You can use it. You don't need a toner. It's got the AHAs, it's got BHAs, and it's got a small amount of retinol in it. Now, I've never come across a cleanser with retinol in it before. And it's just in there to give it a wallop. Now, I've got customers that use this. You use it once or twice a week, once or twice a day if you've got acneic skin. Okay. Obviously, in the evenings, if you've got makeup on, you're going to use something like the CU3 cleanser first to take all your makeup off. Do not try and take your eye makeup off with this. You'll never sleep ever again, I should imagine. This has got the salicylic in it for the exfoliating and the cleaning of the skin. It's got the AHAs in it, citrus extracts, and it's got the retinol in it. It's so good. So good. Yeah. So this needs to be in your stock cupboards if you are a clinic that are dealing with a lot of acneic clients. Okay.
And if
I'm gonna,
somebody doesn't have acne,
then they could buy this, but they could use it just once a week as an exfoliant. But
okay,
if I'm honest with you, if they didn't have acne, there's other things that I would put in front of it for anti-aging,
perfect.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So as good as it is,
Mhm.
phenomenal, I would encourage them more if they're on an anti-aging program. I would encourage them more to use other products than I would that microfoliant cleanser, because the cleanser is not the be all and end all.
Okay, thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to come back to the cell renewal in a moment. Okay. The multi-active day cream. Okay. The multi-active day cream is phenomenal for your acneic clients. Okay. It has the AHAs, the BHAs, and the retinol. Okay. They can use this in the day. It has retinol in it, has glycolic, it has lactic, it has BHAs in it. It's just incredible. You must use your SPF over the top. Must use an SPF over the top of this. Okay. They can use this day and night without any issue. My clients who are acneic, I try to put them on the microfoliant cleanser. I try to put them on the multi-active day cream. They're usually on the DNA repair as a serum previous to that as well. Okay, because that's going to help with any scarring as well, the DNA repairs. Just helps to repair, repair. At the same time as the multi-active is cleaning. Getting that cellular turnover going. It's incredible. Going back to one of Jessica's points earlier, sorry, Jessica, I keep throwing you under the bus, don't I? She was saying about introducing these products. The multi-active day cream, I would introduce that every other day for about 2 weeks, and then be every day, and then twice a day if they wish. Very, very effective. Now, cell renewal. Cell renewal has our HPR in it, our tretinoin derivative. So the cell renewal, this must be introduced very slowly, once every 3 days to start with, then once every 2 days, and then it can be every day. They would use this, your acneic clients, they would use this product in the evenings only, DNA repair, then cell renewal, then their moisturizer of choice. Now, the cell renewal, they might well purge to start with. Okay, so if they are acneic and they're starting to clear up, and you say, right, now we're going to go for it with a cell renewal because your skin is ready for this, do warn them they might purge. So if they're very careful and they use it once every 3 days for the first week, then once every 2 days, slowly, they are much less likely to purge. But if they do purge, they'll purge and it's gone. So tell them to be, thoughtful of that, and it's the long game. This is phenomenal. So you've got your AHAs, your BHAs, and your HPR in this. This is your SAS trainer at the gym. Okay. It's absolutely incredible. People can also use the cell renewal for anti-aging as well, because it's going to get that cellular turnover working beautifully. But it's so good on acne. So good.
So is the HPR only in the cell renewal, or is it in the multi-active day cream as
It's
well?
only in that cell renewal.
Okay, that's
Yes.
thank you.
The multi-active has the retinol in it. Talking of the HPR, we have these 5-second daily peels. Now, I know a lot of you have clients that come in maybe from, probably not at the moment, but come in, from Dubai. They'll come in to you every sort of 4 months. They have a load of treatments, have all their Botox and fillers and things, and then they leave again, and then you give them lots of home care to use whilst they're away. The 5-second daily peels are an absolute must for them. The reason I say it's for them is you do not want to be selling these to clients that come in as your bread and butter, that come in every month for peels and things, and dermafracs and needling and other such things, because if they start using these at home, they won't feel the need as much to come into you. These are incredible. Okay. So they're little pads. You put them on like a puppet. And there's about 4 ml of product on each pad. So it's quite a lot of product. So I always say to clients, wipe one side over your face, turn it and wipe the other side on your neck and maybe on the back of your hands, something like that. This has the HPR, BHAs, and AHAs in it. You're going to use the 5-second daily peel for 10 days and then 3 days off. Then 10 days on and 3 days off. They come in a box of 30, I believe. So sort of, almost a month's worth. So 10 days on, 3 days off, 10 days on, 3 days off. The skin is phenomenal. You could use it if you had, I don't know, like a school reunion or something like that. Use it the day before a school reunion to give you that pop and glow. I always say to clients, when you've been to the hairdressers and had your hair done and you sort of bounce down the high street and you feel like everyone's looking at you because you've had your hair done. This is a little bit like that the day before you do it, and then you'll go out, your skin will just glow. They are absolutely beautiful. You all need to get these in just to try them because you just won't believe how effective they are. They're so good. But as I say, if you have clients that visit you sort of monthly, don't sell them these. But if you have clients that visit you every sort of 4 months or so, then these are really, really good for them to be using at home. They're almost too effective and they do you out of work, as it were. So that's me being completely honest with you.
If you have that product, the peel pads,
Mm-hmm.
do you have to do the 5 days on, 3 days off sort of thing? Could you just do it
No, you
once or
don't have
twice?
to. But if you wanted to get as I say, if you've got clients that want to get a real change in their skin from using them, then you do 10 days on, 3 days off. But you don't
10 days,
have
yeah.
to. You absolutely don't have to. If you have a client with acneic skin that come in for Botox and fillers and they come over dry, etc., etc., and I'm using that as an example. I know you guys have a lot of people that fly in. This is going to be the best product for them for anti-aging and acne because it's got that HPR in it. And their skin will just glow. So if they want it just for red carpet, you could, do a giveaway of a pad for them to try or something like that if you wanted to. But they're going to get really good results. This is a lady that's been using the Prejuvenation range on her skin. That's 3 days, 3 weeks. It's quite substantial. Again, she's a youngster. She's got young skin. Okay, so she's going to see a difference quicker. But in my clinic, I tend to see more youngsters with bad acne. Menopausal women generally tend to be coming in dehydrated, lines and wrinkles. Pigmentation obviously is always a thing, but that tends to be through the summer more that they come in with that because they've been out in the sun and forgotten that they suffer with that. And menopausal women, you just get the odd one that gets acne breakouts, but it tends to be the younger ones. Actually, sorry.
Sorry, going back to the peel pad, sorry.
No, it's fine.
If you could that be good for everyone's skin? Because obviously it's quite punchy. So would you eliminate some skins not to do it?
Exactly. So if you have a client, the Prejuvenation range is not for your clients that come in and say, oh, I've just had a baby and I've been, getting her through preschool and now she's started school. So straight away, alarm bells, 5 years of throwing products in her trolley from Sainsbury's or, no time for herself. Then the Prejuvenation range is something you're going to definitely work up to. So that's a really good question because it's really important that people don't just go straight away and think, right, I'm going to try this, 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 and this. The younger their skin, the more able their skin will be able to cope with it. But what you don't want to do is if the surface of the skin is not working to its perfection, it's not hydrated enough, it's not working like these roof tiles as well as it should be, then you throw a load of actives and then you sensitize it. And then you are not going to be a popular bunny. So the prejuvenation range and the peel pads are really for anyone that's been coming into you and having treatments, unless of course they are sensitized rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, they have a real problem skin. But when I say problem skin, obviously if they're acneic and they're more oily and their skin surface is stronger, but they're acneic, then you could use that on them. But they're so good, those pads. They're so clever. But the whole prejuvenation range is phenomenal if you do have a lot of customers with acne. So, gosh, lots of questions. I'm so thrilled because I feel like everyone's quite engaged. But has anyone got any other questions on anything that we've gone over?
Yeah, we do get a lot of pigmented skin, whether it's sun, whether it's hormonal, and I don't feel we covered a specific pigmentation product, because one of the products that if we were to look at replacing would be a product that's an inhibitor.
Right,
Um,
okay.
and it's also one that you could prep your skin with prior to doing some treatments as well. So I think if there's anything in the range that you can talk about that would be linked to that would be great.
Okay. So it's a two-pronged attack with pigmentation with Neova. First thing being the dual matrix. That is really good on pigmentation. The thing is with just inhibitors, what we're doing is we're looking at the symptoms. The symptoms are, that you've got this leaking pigmentation. When you go out into the sun, the pigmentation of the melanin in your skin sits below the tissue. Okay. And when you go out in the sun, it leaks. It comes up, it leaks to protect the tissue. Hence, we get a tan. And then what happens is if we push it too far, it becomes so leaked, it just sits there and then it becomes pigmentation. Okay, so that's just the symptom of the cause. The cause is the sun, obviously, the damaged DNA, and then you've got the symptom is the pigmentation that's left. Now, the dual matrix, what that is doing is working on mending the DNA. So we're getting the DNA repair. So by dealing with that cause and all the other product that's in there, we're dealing with the cause, we're going to help the symptom. The other thing that you would use by using that SPF, and I had a client send this to me the other day. In fact, she won't mind because she's actually more of a friend. Let me see if I can find the picture. So she has the most dreadful pigmentation. Okay, she has really bad pigmentation. And she goes out in the sun. She's an absolute sun worshipper. She goes out in the sun and she comes back from her holidays and all the pigmentation has always come up. You know how they come back and they say, oh God, look at my pigmentation again. And they say, I used SPF. I don't understand it. So this lady has used SPF, Neova SPF, and I've never seen. So she's been out in the sun. She's laughing. She's been out in the sun. Okay, but you can see she's used Neova to here. Okay, I don't know whether you can see that. Can you see that? Okay, so she's used Neova up to her neck. Okay, she's come in from holiday, and it's the first time I've seen her with an even tan. So it has not aggravated the pigmentation at all. Nothing has come up. She's just come back with this beautiful skin. She's not as dark as she'd normally be, but she's come back with this beautiful tan, and even she agreed that's it. She's got to. So I said, you do need to start using it down here as well, otherwise you're just gonna end up with marks all down here as well. So, Jessica, the first thing I would say to you is make sure they start using the SPF Neova, because not only is it protecting the skin, it's correcting the DNA. And so many people don't realize that it's that DNA, broken DNA, that is the cause of most of these problems. The symptoms will rectify. I know what you're saying about having a specific inhibitor because customers are very much had that drummed into them, but the dual matrix will start to make a difference, especially if they're using that SPF over the top.
But does that dual matrix also help with the tyrosine that activates pigmentation?
It no, no, it will not. It will not because it's working completely differently. So what most inhibitors are doing is they're stopping more damage happening by trying to catch it on its way. What the dual matrix and Neova's whole scientific clinical studies show is the fact that they are mending the DNA that is broken, that is causing all of these leakages, that is then causing the symptom, the pigmentation. So, what we're actually doing is rather than dealing with the problem below where the water leak is happening, we're actually dealing with there not being a water leak at all. So, it's a completely different way of dealing with it, but dealing with it is what it does. So, you can't. What I'm saying to you is you can't compare it like for like. No, you can't compare it like for like because it is doing something different. Jessica, what I would do is trial it on someone that's been using it, and then you'll see for yourself what difference it makes, but in a different way. It's a completely different scientific way of dealing with the problem.
Okay, thank you.
I know it doesn't really help. I totally get it. With clients, they want to say, well, if I'm not drinking water anymore, what am I going to drink? Oh, I'll try Evian then, because they see it's a like for like. It's just a different way of dealing with it. I'm trying to think of a visual you can try, but no, I can't think of one. But you're working on the pigmentation, but it's just in a different way. It's a different way of attacking it. Things progress, things move on, and you can see how that SPF. It's difficult, really, because you haven't seen that lady's pigmentation. But when ladies and gents come in and they literally, you can tell they're sun worshippers, and you can tell they're on holiday a lot, and they go out and they just cook themselves in the sun, and they just have more pigmentation than they haven't got. So they almost get used to that darkness on their face. So yeah, it is quite incredible. But all my pigmentation customers are on dual matrix and Neova SPF. So you're working with all the treatment creams. They're all working on changing that DNA, all working on mending that DNA. And the other thing I was going to say to you is a lot of people say to me, well, if they're using DNA repair, why do they need the DNA repair in creme de la copper? And why do they need the DNA repair in SPF? And the fact is, you don't go to the gym and just use the running machine. Use the running machine, use cross trainer, I don't use any of them. I'm totally throwing myself under the bus. But you're using all these different machines to make your body better. And it's exactly the same with this. The more that you're using, the more mending the cause to help the symptoms you're going to get. And that's what Neova is all about. So have we got any other questions or anything unanswered that anyone wants?
Yeah, is this like this is going to work in pigmentation, but is it going to also helpful for melasma, chloasma, all these skin conditions?
It's going to help with mending the cause of all of these problems.
Okay.
Okay. So
Mhm.
with melasma and pigmentation are more because they always get banded into the same thing. And how I explain it to my clients is with a triangle.
Yeah.
Okay. So with pigmentation, we're basically, hold on, God, no, that's more of a love heart, isn't it? With a with pigmentation, it's a triangle that has a point at the bottom. Okay. So that more of the pigmentation is across the base, which is at the top,
Yeah.
and there's a little bit welling in the bottom point. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So your pigmentation's like that.
Yeah.
With a melasma, what happens is the triangle is a different way around. The point is at the top
Mm-hmm.
and the base is at the bottom.
Okay.
The top bit is the bit that shows, but
Mm-hmm.
most of the welling is at the base. So it's
Yeah.
very difficult to bring that up and out.
Mm.
Okay. Now, with the products, what you're doing is you're mending the DNA in the mitochondria of the skin cells, which in
Mm-hmm.
turn is going to help all of these situations that are going on. The
Okay.
retinol will help the cellular turnover, bringing it up and out of the
Yeah.
skin. But the
Mm-hmm.
main thing that's working is the DNA repair.
Mm. Yeah.
And that is what's going to help all of these things.
Sure.
Okay.
Mm.
Melasmas are very difficult. And
Mm.
melasmas are normally a in-house treatment that needs to give it the blast.
Yeah.
And then the home care is obviously mighty useful as well.
Thank you. Mhm.
Pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Any other questions? Well, I hope it's given you a sort of a real insight to Neova.
Um,
You're probably all starving, Marvin, now, aren't you? Because it's
I just have a one quick question, please.
all right.
Sorry. It's about the microfoliant cleanser. Just to go back, for acne, is it daily, twice daily?
Yes, so with acne, I would use it twice daily,
Hmm.
morning and evening. But I was saying with the evening, you need to have a kinder cleanser first. So you'd use something like the CU3 cleanser first to take off any makeup and
Hmm.
work around the eyes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Then you could use the microfoliant cleanser afterwards, but it's not one obviously to take eye makeup off.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Thank
yeah, build up to it though with the microfoliant cleanser because it has got retinol in it.
you.
So we don't want to dry the skin out immediately. So just use it once a day for a week or so, and then they can use it twice a day, no problem.
Okay. Got Thank you.
A pleasure, absolute pleasure. Well, hopefully, as I say, we've covered the ins and outs of Neova. If there's anything else you need information on, obviously don't hesitate to contact us. Um, Hopefully they've sent you price lists and things like that so that um, you know how much you're charging and what you're doing and everything else. If you need any more help with, what you should have on your trolley against what you should have on in stock or anything like that, then please just shout as well. Obviously, Lindsay will be able to help you with that as well, though. Um, but yeah, apart from that, thank you all so much for giving up your Monday morning. And it's nice to see you all. And yeah, just give me a shout if you need any other info on it.
Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure. It's good to see you again.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
giving your day up off.
Thank you.
Yes.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
See you
Bye.
soon. Bye.